Hello and welcome, race fans, Midwest Motorsports fans. Tonight is Tuesday night. That means it's time for the Midwest Motorsports Road Series to take the track. What promises to be an awesome evening of racing tonight at one of the most legendary and challenging circuits in all the world, the mountain, Bathurst, Mount Panorama, Australia. Round 7 tonight of 12 in our championship. Both the GT3 and the GT4 divisions are locked closely in battles up and down the entire grid. We have 29 drivers tonight. Lots of time to get spaced out on the 3.8 mile circuit. Adam, what are we looking for tonight?
Man, yeah, we're gonna see how this new tire model on the GT3s works on this circuit. It's a little cooler, ambient and also surface temperature wise than I think we're used to. But I know that after practice, a lot of the GT3 drivers were saying that they already felt a lot better control and grip at the top of the mountain than previous. That said, as I always say, you got to be careful. It is not easy up there going through the cutting all the way through the dipper down Forest Elbow and down Conrad Straight. It is not going to be easy to get around the GT4 traffic. They will still be struggling for grip. So being patient will once again pay off. We've seen some attrition here before. So excited to see what happens. Justin Flagg puts in on pole again. Jack Lucas with maybe the best qualifying we've seen out of him. Max Bauer up on the second row. So this should be an exciting race. Away they go.
It's time! Justin Flagg with the killer qualifying, and Max Bauer goes around in the Ferrari on the opening corner. He may have had some help from Jason Wahlberg, who's also making his way back on the track. He has 60 minutes to sort it out. Oh, body parts flying. That could be a toe. That's unfortunate for Max Bauer, dominating the GT4 division before we went mixed class. Congrats to Zach Alexander in the GT4 pole position with Jack Yates.
Oh no, Chris Rowe backward as well.
More action. Not Christopher Rowe. Early aggression.
Oh no,
and Michael Odell, your points leader, goes around on the nose of Jamil Gummer. He looks like he wants to wait for him, but it's so hard to get turned around in this tunnel. Jamil may have reset to the pits as well.
Max Bauer and Chris Rowe still going. It looks like
good.
He might have waited for the GT4s. Max Bauer hit the toe. Getting over the top of the mountain, I don't think would have been very friendly without the downforce there. Oh, off the wall for, is that Jack Yates?
Jack Yates, yep.
Yeah, this
GT4 action heating up too, yep.
Yeah, they do not have the grip early on. It'll take those cars with their weight and just the tire model a little bit to get up to grip, and he looks like he's fighting for grip there in that car. The Porsche a little bit more planted. Oh, Justin Thaler's jumped to the pits now.
Oh no, he might have had some trouble as well. Oh, great replay. It looks like he clipped the nose of that concrete barrier, and that's disappointing for JT.
Yeah, I think with the Mustang, it's might just break loose coming down. It looks like he already doesn't have. He's already missing a rear.
Boom.
So if you look, he's already missing his rear wing. So that car is. So that car is struggling for aero grip. Tough. I know a couple years ago Justin wrecked there as well. So not a big fan of the Gazoo Dipper.
Deja vu all over again.
You gotta respect the Gazoo Dipper. Oh, speaking of respect,
Justin Shoup and Mauricio Prada, I believe.
Wow.
Thankfully, Justin Shoup gets it back pointed the right direction.
I think that was
Lots of action.
No, not Paxton. Paxton's got a different car there. Wow.
Alexander dropping back. He may have had a slowdown. It looks like he gave up the lead. Let Moffitt and Rick Bundren get by. So your pole sitter now has some work to do, coming from 5th place. Action early.
Yeah, this is a difficult track for multi-class as it is, but we haven't even, other than Chris Rowe trying to make his way through the GT4 field after getting stuck on the way up the hill, we haven't yet seen multi-class racing. It's just been interclass fighting. So it'll be interesting to see how things go. But these GT3 machines now coming in on their second, finishing their second, going on to their third lap, they should be coming into temp and finding a little more grip. But that was chaos, James.
Chaos, and it's not over yet. The GT4s are still fighting for 5th and 6th. Zach Alexander looking for a place to pass, especially on unknown track temps and surface. He gets a good run down the hill. That's going to cost Moffitt. You might lose Christopher Rowe coming through the field after a late restart. But Moffitt and Alexander, that's going to help Zach get a tow up to his next competitor, Rick. He let it go earlier on a slowdown, so Zach Alexander working to make some ground back up. Rowe's working his way through the end of the field too. Paxton, this is the battle for 9th and 8th up the road. Ben Hull is right there. Ben Wall. Steve Hansel. Keegan Bahari did not set a time in qualifying. Already up 6 spots in P10. Steve Hansel trying to hold him off. Looking back at one of those killer warp paints.
Yeah, don't call your doctor. Not much you can do about warts in Midwest Motorsports. They're hard to get rid of.
Stick on you, and they're threatening and menacing no matter which one it is, and that's great.
Well, they're actually pretty nice.
Forced to be forced to. Yeah, I love them. Travis Rowe does a great job making those paints for everybody. Jason Wahlberg catching back up as well after some earlier chaos. Side by side, that first sector, and it looks like Ben Wall is going to give up the position to Paxton. So that's a hard-earned spot to make the pass through there.
Yeah, he might have a better run up through the top, though. Have to be bold to make it stick, but seeing that car behind you getting a better run through the top up here, that's just unnerving, knowing that they're getting set up better than you, especially as you run in through all this section down here, down the dipper, coming into Forest Elbow. He's got his mirrors full now as well. Michael Choate, he's showing up the inside. See if he gets set up for a nice run down the Forest Elbow. Looks like he might have one.
Getting the power down early is key, especially in these GT4 machines. Can Ben Wall get the position back? Gonna have to work at it.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've seen a Frank Ocean car in GT4 competition or anywhere.
Welcome to the club.
This will likely continue for a little while unless somebody makes a mistake. Same for Steve Hansel and Keegan Bahari.
Really is risk reward through the top of the mountain. Skyline, the S's.
And it takes a minute to get into the flow up there. Once you get into flow, then it's easy to start knowing where you're going to get your slip angle and how much room you have to go wide. We've seen a couple checks of the wall up top as people start to get used to that. I'm gonna guess that practice temps were probably warmer than what we're seeing right now, but hard to say without pulling up Garage 61. See how deep they'll take it here. I don't think Keegan's gonna push this early on, but this is definitely a track where you don't have to make the move yourself. You want to put the pressure on and make that driver in front of you think about what's happening, because the mistakes are easy here. Jason Phillips all over Jack Lucas. It's like Jamil Gummer got a black flag for changing lanes before crossing start finish on the race start, so that's unfortunate. That's a hard way to start here. Jason Phillips cutting inside close on the exit. Got a tow now. Slowly gaining in. See how deep he's willing to take it here. Runs wider than Jack Lucas.
Jack maybe playing a little cautious the entry of the chase, but getting the good power out, and the gap expands.
Yeah,
Great
there's a
run for Jason Phillips. He's going to stalk as well.
Pretty good compression going into the braking zone there, so you really can get hard on the brakes, almost as hard as you can anywhere that you're going to run. But that said, no reason to push it. He did also get, I think, from getting that mid-corner roll speed, I think he got off a little quicker, but Jason's all over him. Jesse Coffey lurking in the background.
Ready to pick up any leftover pieces if this gets ugly, but again, Jason Phillips, I think, just going to take notes. Very cerebral racer. And the Dark Horse Mustang, Jesse's right there.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like this circuit is working pretty well for the Mustang with this new tire model. Race director Josh Watts said that he did a couple laps, and even early on the first lap, it really felt like the grip was there and the car was pretty planted. We know it's going to put the power down coming down Conrad Straight, so excited to see what Jesse Coffey can do here. Justin Thaler's going to have trouble getting his result after a pretty strong run of finishes. Having to go to the pit to get a new rear wing is not going to help his results.
2 minutes in the pits. Gonna have some work to do. Here we go again, the long run down Conrad. We'll see if Jason Phillips can get in the slipstream 1/10 of a second at a time. This is where he gained a lot of time last time. I think this is where he's gonna make a pass if he does get close enough. Making Jack sweat, like you said. May wait till the pit stops. See how that cycles out. No need to take chances in the top 3 podium right now. This would be a great gain in points as Jason Phillips comes into the 3rd place in the podium.
Yeah, he's
I know it's only race 8,
but 2 spots already. Yeah. Ian Bakaitis up 6, John Daniels up 5, Keegan Bahari up 7, but didn't qualify, or didn't put down a time in qualifying. Front end missing on Jack Yates' car, so
he's seen some action. Here we go into traffic. Thank you, Jack. Let second and third go by. Steve Hansel has lost.
Yeah, I saw
Keegan Bahari, Keegan's up the road.
some type of issue for Steve here. See if we're able
13
to.
seconds he's lost. Plus.
I'm not sure what happened there
Exit
to
the
Steve.
chase. Coming out of the chase. So maybe missed it in the chase.
Yeah, the car didn't look too damaged, so maybe just a spin. John Daniels doing his best V8 Supercars impression, trying to get the mirror on the side of that concrete barrier to see how far he can go. Ian Bakaitis looking racy here, chasing Mauricio Prada.
JT working his way back to the GT4 field. Did not lose a lap. He's got almost a minute to get to the next, more than a minute, to get to Michael Odell, next position up. JT out here turning laps. Nick Moffitt, the GT4, fighting a little slipstream. Oh. There's Moffitt. Sorry about that. Zach has worked his way up to third. Got James Sengi, the next victim, if your pole sitter can make his way back up.
Yeah, James has been quick lately.
This is what Zach sees. Every lap for 60 minutes. This corner is so crucial to carrying speed as well as the next.
Yeah, you can see how important the setup is. You really need to let the car run, get close to the wall to open these turns up. He's going to be getting right up close, but there's not much you can do. This is a great spot to get a run. Once you hit that dipper, you really can get a good compression and really gas it up where you don't have to be as careful knowing that car is going to squat on the rear. It's like he lost a little bit of run through the dipper to James.
Pushed the limit just a little too much, and Justin Thaler can tell us what happens. You push the limits in the pursuit of just one
too much
position.
Sausage for Justin.
Decided to eat too much sausage.
We know he loves sausage.
Sure he had a couple at Watkins Glen over the weekend? Maybe that's why he was a little sluggish. Navigating traffic for Jesse Coffey and Greg Conway.
Moving chicanes for the GT3 field doesn't slow either race down. Greg Conway, full attack mode. Jesse Coffey, Greg is coming for you.
Yeah, I know Greg likes his endurance series in iRacing, so this is a track that he should be pretty familiar with. The GT3 McLarens appear to have pretty good pace here. Hard to see around that big dark horse Mustang.
Punching a big hole in the air for Greg.
Jesse going a little Dukes of Hazzard. Throwing some gravel up.
Looking in his rear view, I bet.
I bet he wishes he had some speed racer gimmicks to drop some thumbtacks or an oil slick. I got a feeling Greg's going to be right there for a while.
Prada and John Daniels working their way around. Is it Moffitt or Bundren, I think? He touched the wall.
It's Justin Shoop there. That's
Shoop.
Scary for him to look into the timing and see 4 GT3s barreling down.
Shut up, Jim. We know he's there.
Have a look
Race
at
to
this.
lead is on.
Yeah.
Jack Lucas is on his tail in the draft. Justin Flagg playing super defense, trying to take up the whole road. Now he loses extra line. Jack not putting pressure yet, but not making a dive yet. No bonehead moves, but he was definitely overlapped, and Justin Flagg is feeling the pressure, and Jason Phillips is right there with this group too. So three-way battle. We're just about 10 minutes in.
That almost looked like Pocono.
Nice. Let's go. This is why we like Midwest Motorsports racing.
There's your GT4 leader up the road from this battle. Ron has been consistent. I mean, really, there haven't talked a whole lot about Ron, but Ron's just been consistent, been fast. Just Zach Alexander and Nick Aslin have just had better luck and been faster, but Ron's really been putting in consistent races here, so I'm sure he would like to maintain this lead and not see James Zangy and Zach Alexander bring this gap in closer, but we'll see. It's not been the case thus far that Zach has been taken out by his mistakes, and as I say that, looks like he hits the wall on the way through the cutting and goes around.
Trying to leave space. Now what do? You're 90 degrees to the track. Hang on to it, Zach. Just hold your position. That's it. Hold the brakes.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a great shot of it. What do? You look at your relative, right? That's all you can do to know when you're going to have a green.
Yeah, it's
Clear
not.
a second.
At this point in the race, there's not a lot of opportunity. All these cars are right on top of each other.
I think I've seen an Austin Powers meme that looks something like that. Tough break for Zach. Now he's going to need repairs when he comes in for his one pit stop. As Steve Ansel goes around Jack Lucas, I believe. Or Jack Yates. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, an Angel's going to have to go get his wings. So
yeah,
the climb back up will be a little steeper. So might see a different race winner today in the GT4 class. Justin Flagg got a little bit of a gap.
Ian Bacaitis using some curbing to make sure there's no conflict with the GT4. Does not lose any momentum. As now he tries to figure out which way to go around more traffic. Jesse Coffey is in for his first stop, and Ian Bacaitis on the inside of a GT4 Aston, and he's got Keegan Bahari in a warp paint right behind him as well. So Ian Bacaitis and then John Daniels just up the road as well. Looks like a little break from GT4 traffic down the straight. Mauricio Prada and the Cookie Monster Tips Ahoy machine.
Yeah, after the wreck for Zach Alexander, the gap now between James Zangy and Rick Bundren and the rest of the GT4 field has opened up. They've got about 14 seconds. So they can afford to be careful now. Still a lot of race to go. Can't tell. I don't think Zach has got... No, he still doesn't have a rear wing. So he's going to try to go around. We'll see. He may not know that wing is gone. Or if he does, he's trying to handle it. But I think up through this section of track, he's going to wish he had it. There's a big puff of smoke. Somebody... Yeah, Ben Wall looks like he just wrecked and lost his wing. Try to see here just how hard Zach is fighting the wheel without the full aero force.
That's the wall Justin Taylor hit. Like he made it through.
The JT Dipper. Yeah, you can see there, he's in the wall. Maybe trying to make some room for Jamil Gummer to come around, but still, I think that the handling of that car is definitely compromised without the rear wing. He may have seen if he can continue without that and try to make it work until he gets to his stop here, but I don't think he's going to have that luxury. The Australian race fans down here getting some free giveaways. Gonna keep going.
Michael Choate leaves plenty of room. Thanks, Michael. GT3 battles had some pit stops with Jason Phillips and Justin Flagg coming in exactly the same time. Same time in, same time out, it looks like.
Yeah, so 10, 11 laps. The first takers.
Only 1.1 seconds. Jack Lucas holds off the current leader. He's got to be running on E2, going an extra 3.8 miles longer for his first stop.
Not a short track. I know that's something they were talking about at Road America. If you really try to push your fuel save, you know, it's 3 to 4 mile track. You got to be certain you have enough to make that overcut work.
And the entry to pit road, a little chicane too. You might see some action there, or maybe a slowdown if you cut too much. Definitely off tracks are a risk.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody else chooses to use the Norm Snyder straight entrance to the pit. Well, I mean, we don't know that it's not faster yet, so have to keep working on it. Assume John Daniels isn't going to go more. Yep, that's right. He's going to pull in. John Daniels went 12 laps. That's probably about as much overcut as you're going to get here. Must have been a great stop for Jason Phillips. Look at this.
Jack Lucas right there with him. Here we go. Jason Phillips. Justin is going to overtake Jack Lucas. Jack went 1 lap longer. That's how close they came out. I mean, there's no telling. That could be the entry to pit road or the in lap or the out lap. This is their out lap. Tires were not changed, I don't think. Just fuel only at 17 seconds. I could be wrong.
It looks like Jason Wahlberg had had 13.7 stop. Everybody else is around 17 plus. So I'm assuming based on that. Well, actually, no, maybe that might have been repairs from his incident. So I'm not sure yet if anybody did take tires. So we'll see. Michael O'Dell, 21 seconds. That might have been damaged. Yeah. So I'm not certain if anybody would have needed to take tires yet. We've definitely seen an advantage in the GT3s from staying on the tires you're on. They already have some core temp built up. Doesn't look like Jack Lucas has lost anything coming out other than one position to Jason Phillips, but I'd say that it's hard to say if the overcut worked or not, but I mean, they're all still right there, so it doesn't seem to be a big difference.
Awesome racing. Let's go. Midwest Motorsports GT3, Jason Phillips getting a little slideways, coming out of the chase on the way to finish his 12th lap, 13th lap.
And the Chattanooga whiskey car, don't drink and drive.
Wahlberg got around Mauricio.
Cody Height tucking in.
Mauricio fight back. Thanks, Cody.
Michael O'Dell gets around Keegan Bahari. It's like Ron Cabiltes is in the pit. Cody Height coming in as well. Nick Moffitt coming in. James Zangi's still going.
I think the GT4 fuel tank is a little bigger. I think they can go all the way to 40 minutes or so if they run it out.
Yeah, I think
they're stopping now.
They have more fuel on board to start. So they get a one stop versus the GT3s with more stop and more strategy at play. Nice train of GT3s here on the way up the mountain.
6th through 9th, 10th. Murcia Parado lighting him up on the blinkers. But that does not distract Jason Wahlberg as he pulls away, and now at risk from John Daniels. Michael Odell following after his lap 1 shenanigans. So can Michael Odell make quick work of John Daniels and then look up ahead? Get a 2-for-1 down the back straightaway. It's so incredibly difficult to pass in GT3s. We are about to find out. Everybody steps on the loud pedal as we go down.
Looks like he's got a good run.
Has a run on the bumper of John Daniels. John Daniels goes defense early, leaves plenty of room. Wisely lets him go and just follow. You could follow Michael Odell. You could probably come up the field a little bit. Good luck keeping up with him. Lucio Prado next on the Michael Odell list, as you see grass flying up, and I'm not sure what her name is.
Yeah, must be somebody important to John Daniels to be on the roof of the car, but never met her. Definitely see the chrome on Michael Odell catching the Australian sunlight.
Problem is the car's getting smaller and smaller as the lap carries on.
Looks like he's got a run here. Yeah.
GT4 traffic.
Being this close, I think for these guys, it's definitely being patient enough to know that each of these little micro runs you get through this lap, there are only so many places you can really get it done. Take care of your equipment, take care of your tires, save fuel where you can.
Slight ball touch for John Daniels. Does that allow Keegan Bahari to get a run? So difficult to pass. Again, we're going to talk about risk reward all race. Past the halfway point now. The race for the lead. Zach Lucas has dropped back 2 seconds, but Jason Phillips has not left the rear wing of Justin Flagg. He's not getting away. You guys both hosted multiple sessions throughout the week. They knew this race was going to be a challenge and it would pay off to be familiar with it, with a good qualifying spot to stay out of the lap 1 fiasco. There's Lucas right behind. Not too far. That's 1 or 2 GT4 traffic. Catching traffic at the wrong time.
The top 4 in GT4 have yet to stop. So Ron should still be your GT4 leader after the rest take their stop. It's like about a minute to a minute. No, about a minute full pit lane time, so he should be able to take over this group once they stop. Ron came in on lap 12. So did Nick Moffitt and Cody Height. Paxton Knorr and Zach Alexander coming in on lap 13. So Zach probably does have a wing. Now he does. So we'll see if he's able to climb back up and fight now that he has made that stop. He didn't take a second stop, so he did make it to lap 13 even without that aerodynamic downforce. But we'll see if that paid off. It is a pretty good loss of time on pit lane. I'm assuming we'll see some good racing at the back of the GT3 field now. Everyone back there is back there mostly due to incidents, not lack of pace. So Chris Rowe and Michael Odell both fit that description.
We got to be patient coming through there. Sorry
Gets
about
one
that.
position. Oh no, you're okay. It's just Zach Alexander getting one position back. These two pitted on the same lap. Zach had about 3.5 seconds longer in the actual pit stop itself, but about a second quicker total pit lane time. So that practice of getting in and out of the pits, Zach said he put in a good number of hours practicing this week. So those pit stops appear to have picked up some time for him.
Still waiting for his pit stop. Ron Kabiltis is chasing up Justin Shoup. Justin waiting for a stop. Back to the GT3s. Mauricio under pressure from Wahlberg.
He just got around Jason Wahlberg on the way up cutting. So he's now starting to pull away. Keegan Bahari chases John Daniels. Let's see how close these cars have to get to the wall just to make sure they're getting the best run they can.
Inch perfect precision. Lap after lap is what separates these drivers. This is the fastest I think the field has separated of any of the tracks we go to. Once again, the risk reward of hitting or not hitting that concrete tunnel and getting your lines right through the chase here. Keegan Bahari trying to track down John Daniels. One spot at a time.
Oh no, Zach Alexander, after an off track, is now serving a drive-through for incident points. So this race not going the way that he hoped. Still
Good on
points
him
on
for
the
just
table. 30,
Get
20,
it over with.
yeah, 23 minutes to go. I mean, anything can happen still.
Right. And he's made a stop for fuel, so he may gain some of those positions back.
James Agnew coming in now, so he pushed it almost 16 laps, so 4 laps longer than Ron Kabiltis. Ron coming down the hill ahead of Justin Flagg, overall race leader.
Phillips 3 seconds back now. I really believe that is just a factor of the traffic. I don't think Jason could have done too much wrong there, but just the nature of when you hit a moving chicane that I call it, of course, respectfully, GT4s are having their own battle. A lot of fun to watch multi-class racing. There we go. Justin Flagg, your pole sitter, trying to put the smack down one more time, leading every lap. other than pit cycles. Can he do it?
Yeah, it'll be a bit before he's back in traffic. Troy Nissen heading up the cutting on top of the mountain to the top of the mountain. Other than that, I mean, that's GT3 traffic there, so it might be a little bit longer to see any traffic impact the leaders of the GT3 class. Justin just put down the fastest lap of the race as well.
He did.
Wouldn't be surprised
Track map on the top right.
Put that down even better now with completely clean air.
Yellow dot is who we ride with. Pros are blue, AMs are red. Clear track in front of our leader, Justin Flagg. Make hay while the sun shines. Troy Nissan with the new paint. Current leader overdue for a pit stop.
Yeah, just enjoying a day in the Australian countryside. Traffic's pretty light here for him. Brings it in.
All right, Troy, where are you coming out at? Let's see.
You can see, I mean, this is a really difficult entry to pit lane. It's definitely one you want to practice because it is not something you're just going to roll into and handle. I mean, with that little chicane there, a couple dips and dives.
Perfectly convenient for our leader, Yellow Dot, to stretch his legs and extend the lead, but he has not been able to. There's still 3.8 back to Jason Phillips.
See these cars bottoming out over the crest down Conrad Straight.
Jack Yates, you didn't have to go all the way off track. Thank you.
Yeah, the rest of the GT3 field will be in traffic for a bit. Going to allow the top three to really break away. We're a couple laps away from pit stops opening again. Jesse Coffey went 10 laps on the initial stop, so soon he'll need to come in again. Jason Wahlberg last stopped on lap 8, so he's going to have to come in, I'm sure. Jason Wahlberg coming up to the rear of Mauricio Prada. Mauricio with Nick Moffitt in the GT4 to get around, but going to get around him on the straight. So luckily timing that out to catch up there instead of at the top of the hill.
Might lose a little ground to Wahlberg in the orange cart.
Yeah, compromised on the exit there a little bit, but probably going to be okay. Jason Wahlberg ducking in. Yeah, he last stopped on lap 8, so not much further he could push it. You can see the kitty litter there for anyone who wants some.
Nice driving by Mauricio there to avoid the blinking car. Justin Taylor comes out of the pits. Saying hi to Jesse Coffey, I believe.
Michael
guy
Odell
we
behind
ride with.
Jamil.
Yep. Jamil is the next target for Michael Odell. Is going to have to really work on this one. Jamil's not just going to pull over. Hard to believe these guys are outside the top 10. So strange to be calling Michael Odell Jamil Gummer for 12th. Every point's going to matter in this championship, though. 4 left after today, including one more endurance. I believe the drop races are reflected in the points standings right now. So a little early.
Zach catching back up to Paxton.
Bragging rights for today's race. I would think take priority over the long-term championship. Zach trying to get back inside the top 10. One car at a time. Zach has seen the back of Paxton's Porsche one more earlier tonight. You can be patient and pass him at just the right time. That's a skill that you learn through experience, to be patient. Adam, what's your patience like? And do you think that has been a factor in some of these?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's something where we've seen, when you practice your hot laps, I mean, you're really trying to put down the best lap times you can. You're not thinking about where you're going to be when a couple faster GT3 cars come up on you. And that really is more of the race than trying to pass somebody in your classes. So, I mean, being patient and not panicking, I think remaining calm and cool when those things happen, I think is definitely something you have to get used to. You have to get used to the concept that your racing line is your racing line, whether the car behind you is faster or not. Just be predictable so that they know where you're at. So that definitely comes with experience. It's not something you can really jump in AI and have AI overtaking you and really learn a lot from that. It's something you get from jumping in those practice sessions with actual other people. So something to get used to, and, something I think that is sometimes a frustration for the GT4 drivers, but it's something you have to learn to cope and adapt with and figure out how to get along with the faster drivers.
Patience paid off for Zach Alexander. He got around Paxton. Final pit stop for the GT3s. Justin Flagg and Jason Phillips comes in right behind him. Now we'll see if either one of them jack up. I see no tires for Jack Lucas. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Justin Flagg.
For Justin. And no tires for Jason Phillips either.
It's like about 2 seconds shorter for Justin. I'm not sure if he filled shorter. Took less fuel,
Has Justin been fuel saving and not tell anybody?
Picked up a nice gap with that. Jack Lucas is about 24 seconds up the road, 25. He last stopped on lap 12, so he may go another lap after this. We'll see. I'd be hoping that fuel fill will be shorter. King Bahari coming out in the background.
Wahlberg and Coffee fighting for real estate. Into turn 2. Coffee holds the position for now. Wahlberg trying to find a place to pass. High risk. You still have to lead follow through here. Unless you want to end up doing an 8-point turn like we've seen others do today.
Don't want to do that.
Right? So your only option is to follow
Yeah,
Wait
it
for a
works.
mistake, wait for traffic.
It
You
works for
mentioned that
Austin
earlier.
Powers because the airport cart doesn't have any aerodynamic apparatus on it. You know, you lose your rear wing, your rear bumper. You will lose parts of your car backing into the wall and pulling forward into the wall. You'll knock a tie rod loose. These walls will claim meaningful components.
Such patience from Jesse Coffey to get around. I think that's Moffitt. Of course, it might be Bunbury.
Yeah,
And
Rick
now
Bunbury
Wahlberg has
there.
lost contact with Jesse Coffey, so Jesse Coffey can breathe for maybe 2 corners, but Jason Wahlberg's not going anywhere. Meanwhile, Michael Liddell's got around Jamil Gummer. Was traffic a factor? I don't know. But I can tell you, Jamil Gummer would be doing well to hang on the heels of Michael Liddell and follow him through the rest of the field. For the next 10 minutes and 38 seconds, at least. So difficult, so many layers of the onion to put together a good result in any of these Midwest Motorsports races, even with fewer cars in the race. And the 3-point-mile-an-hour track, you're still dealing with mixed classes in both series, having such
Yeah, I
a
think
impact on the racing. Incredible.
the difference in the strategies on pits between these two classes with the fuel loads and the tires and different things like that, I think has really kept this entire field together. So the leaders of the GT3 now, as Jack Lucas has come in, he did go all the way to 24, so he did 12 again, so he stuck to his numbers. But he might come back out in perfectly clean air now that they've been running with some of this traffic. So the rest of the GT3 field not as lucky.
Over 5 seconds now, the difference for Jason Phillips. Justin Flagg has a cushion to do any fuel saving if he needs to. He may not. Outsmarting the whole GT3 field once again. Love the 2-stop strategy in this series. Don Daniels in the pits. How far back is he gonna be at risk?
Yeah, he's just coming in now, so it looks like
Conway Parada, Jesse Coffey gonna get around him as well.
Ron Cabilti is with the 4.5-second lead over James Zangi.
That's close. There's Zangi and the white and blue Porsche behind, so Ron Cabiltis cannot breathe easy yet.
Yeah, luckily for James, the GT3 traffic will get by him here on the straight, so he won't have to worry about it as much through the cutting and on the way up to the top of the mountain. It's nice to be able to focus on hitting your marks through the top and not being a moving traffic cone.
Jesse Coffey again.
Ron Cabiltis doesn't have the same luxury.
Catches him in the wrong place for Jesse Coffey. He had a big lead. Now it's
touch
all
of a
gone.
wall for
Wahlberg is
Ron.
there. Yes. And there's nothing, what patience being exercised by Jesse Coffey. Nothing Ron can do, nothing Jesse can do but follow. And Wahlberg looking for a way around, looking left, looking right.
Oh no!
Cabiltis is trying to stay out of the way. He's doing his best. And here's Wahlberg going to take advantage. Ron Cabiltis coming down with under 10 minutes to go, 7 minutes now. Wahlberg, and we got a third car.
John Daniels up the
coming in
inside.
right. So Jesse Coffey loses 2 spots. Ron Cabiltis bounces off the wall, trying to stay out of the way. Mixed class racing. And look at this. Keegan Bahari comes back in the fight too. with 8 minutes, 7 minutes left, we're ready to go. It's going to be like 3 more laps at the most. These guys are going to battle it out. Final
They just
stops have
cut the
been
lead.
made.
James Zangy might be within a second by the time he gets in to the chase. Under 2 seconds now. So that's a huge change of fortune for James Zangy. It looked like Ron Cabiltes was completely gone away, but late in the race with that traffic.
You cannot breathe. 4 seconds is not enough for the GT4s especially. Wahlberg gets past Coffee. Daniels also gets past Coffee. Nice guys finish 8th tonight, it looks like, if they stay in this order. What could Jesse Coffee have done different?
Unofficial.
To save his spot, you know? Yeah, of course, the race is far from over. A lot can happen in 6 minutes. Can Coffee get the spot back? He's going to have to earn it. Wahlberg has been very fast tonight as well. Keegan Bahari, is he going to take out a teammate? Especially with Travis Rowe watching. Hey, Kyle, we see you guys on the YouTube. Thanks.
Yeah, we've got some good battles still throughout the GT3 field after 45 minutes and 2 pit stops.
Mauricio Prada putting pressure on Greg Conaway. Looking inside.
He might
side
get the
by
run.
side down the stretch. Oh my goodness. Who's got the RPM? McLaren versus McLaren. No manufacturer advantage. We are wheel to wheel. Headed to the chase. Who's got the bigger stones? Who's going to the brake pedal first? Conway with the optimal racing line. Parada's going to have to go in deep.
It's
Can
on the inside
Conway
here.
cross him over, move Parada up a spot? For now, they're going to get at least 1 more lap, maybe 2.
I think Greg's saving equipment there. There's still time to get the move done to get back around, but definitely not time if you have to go in the pit lane and get repairs. It's so difficult because if you're on the outside at the chase, you have the inside coming back in, but you have to hang it around the outside there. So that's really difficult to do, but we've definitely seen people do it. That battle will continue.
That battle's just in front, 13 seconds up the road from this 4-way battle. No traffic expected for this lap. So this is GT3 on GT3, no excuses. This lap and 1 more, and that's it. Coming to the white this time by. I believe. We'll see where Jason Phillips got around Jeff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
We might have a new leader. What happened to Flag? He lost 2 spots. There he is. Jason Phillips moving up. Patience being the virtue. What happened to Flag? We'll have to ask him if he makes it. He's a good way up the road from 4th place. Jason Phillips. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Is that a fuel stutter? A slowdown?
I'm not sure.
And he's comes back in. Okay, so he's gone, but then how do you lose 3 more seconds? Did
Like
Justin Flag
there.
underfill? I think Justin may have underfilled. He's trying to just save to get to the end now. Justin Flag, this checkered flag,
it was
did
just
not come fast enough.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not.
He's on fuel save.
Yeah, his last lap was a 2:09.
We saw this play out in real life this weekend in almost every form of motorsport, from IMSA to IndyCar. NASCAR Cup was at Pocono. We saw fuel saving there.
Yeah, your prices, your fuel
pit.
prices are going up.
Yeah.
The loud pedal costs more and more these days, so
think it's only 2 seconds of fuel.
Wow, that is
Flag.
unexpected.
These guys have pulled away. The gaps have increased from each other as these laps have gone on, just qualifying laps, no traffic. GT4 battle for 5th. For 4th, Rick Bundren just in front of Nicholas Moffitt. This podium has not been settled yet.
Oh, and they're not too far behind Troy Nissen either.
Right, the orange car holds the 3rd and final podium spot.
Ron has been able to push his lead back out to 5 seconds. So after a scare coming down the dipper, he's able to pull it back together.
Mauricio's holding off Conaway for 4th.
Time expiring now as Jason gets up to the top.
Coming to the checkers, can you believe it? Jason Phillips. Is today the day Jason Phillips conquers the mountain?
It's been a bit since we talked to Jason Phillips. He's had some tough luck and some good finishes against some guys really driving out of their minds. So he'll hope he can pull it together and come across the line. He said when he's out in public, he asks his wife if he thinks people know they're around a pro driver. I think right now, Nick Moffitt and Rick Bundren know they're around a pro driver.
GT4 battle for 4th rages on. Past Troy Nissen, the final corner for Jason Phillips. In the Acura machine, Jason Phillips has survived and comes across the finish line first to receive the checkered flag. Congratulations, Jason Phillips, your winner. Jack Lucas, only 4 seconds back. Great second place for Jack. Qualifying on the front row.
Chaos at the top of the mountain.
Drama.
A number of
The
cars
hits keep
involved.
coming. Jesse Coffey riding with Jesse.
Oh
Cars
no!
sideways in front of him. Nowhere to go. All we see is smoke. That is Paxton.
Jesse Coffey, Paxton, Keegan. Number of cars involved there.
Oh no! Coming to the checkers.
Wow.
GT4's sideways. If you've seen any of Jesse Coffey's streams and shorts that he's made the last couple of days, he's been the victim of circumstance more than once.
Jason Wahlberg 7th, John Daniels, or 6th, John Daniels 7th.
Ian Bakais was a strong 8th. And on a lap of his own with James Zinke, Michael Odell makes it up to a top 10. DeMille in 9th. There is your GT4 leader. 2 GT4s finish on the lead lap. That's the difference between first and second after 60 minutes in a pit stop. Great racing by both of these guys. Survival, the name of the game. Christopher Rowe, after spinning on the first lap going to the pits, finishes just outside the top 10. And there's your GT4 leader in front. Could have been a lot worse for Ron, so good job, Mr. Kabiltis. I feel your pain there, Christopher.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on the finish, because I mean, a couple of cars Keegan Bahari and Jesse Coffey, I believe they would have had a tow. So not sure if that allowed Justin Thaler to finish ahead, or if then because of being down to them that they would have still finished that out. But chaos, just
Which
like you expect from Mount Panorama.
which route does the tow truck take to get you back to the pits first? But you'll still lose that lap. So I'm not sure if iRacing will let them finish that. These are, I'm going to say unofficial because, of course, race control always has the right to review. I'll let you go through the list while we try to pull in
The great run
our
that we
winners.
expect to see from Jason Phillips was at the front of the pack the entire race, able to take the win at the end. I'm not sure still yet what happened with Justin Flagg. Looked like he was slow toward the end, was running slower lap times. Not sure if there was an issue with his equipment or either his virtual equipment or his car itself. But Jason Phillips, a great race. Jack Lucas starting second, finishing second. Great run from Jack. Justin Flagg was fast all day long. Some sort of issue at the end, compromising him to finish third. Mauricio Parada able to hold off Greg Conaway for fourth, Greg in fifth. Jason Wahlberg overcoming early incident to finish sixth. John Daniels seventh with a classic John Daniels overcut strategy. Ian Bakaitis eighth. Jameel Gummer fighting back for ninth, getting around Michael Odell at the very final lap. Michael Odell 10th, Christopher Rowe 11th, Jesse Coffey 12th, Keegan Bahari 13th, both of them involved in an incident with the GT4 at the very end of the final lap, the end of the race at the top of the dipper. Justin Thaler 14th, again unofficial, we're not sure yet what will happen there. In class, Steve Hansel 15th not finishing, and Max Bauer 16th not finishing. Huge hit for Max. Ron Cabiltes getting back to winning ways after some difficulties for Zach Alexander. Ron Cabiltes first, leading the way after taking over a scare coming through the dipper with some GT3 traffic. James Zangy got within under 2 seconds, but finished 6 seconds back. Troy Nissen third, Nick Moffitt fourth, Rick Bunger in fifth, Cody Height sixth, Zach Alexander scraping back up to get seventh, Justin Sheep eighth, Michael Choate ninth, Paxton Knorr 10th with the spin at the top of the dipper in the final lap. Jack Yates 11th, Ben Wall 12th, Jordan Nissen 13th. That is your result from Mount Panorama.
Incredible racing for a full 60 minutes. Ron Cabiltes brings home first place, but not without a couple of puckering moments and heart-stopping moments. Ron, those last few laps were crazy for us. What were they like for you in the car?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. There was that spot in the mountain where Jesse was behind me. I apologize to Jesse. There was like, I got a VR headset, moved from the monitor, so sweat was getting into the headset, and it was like in my eye. So I was going up the mountain with one eye, and I was trying to let Jesse go, but he wasn't sure. So I apologize to Jesse, but yeah, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, looked like you had quite a bit of fear. It brought James within 2 seconds down into the chase, able to get that back out to 6 seconds. But after a pretty comfortable drive out there, that was definitely a scary moment for you. Were you able to pull it back together and get your eye cleared out, or did that continue to be scary the rest of the way?
Yeah, I was able to just get a finger in there and kind of just wipe my eye on the straights, and then like I think 5 minutes to the end of the race, it was I was able to be good from there.
All right, maybe we'll have to get you a bandana or something for next race.
Probably, yeah.
Sweatband, something like that. Midwest Motorsports sweatbands. Justin Thaler, get on it.
Congratulations for a great race, Ron. Glad to see you back on the top step of the podium again. And GT4 winner tonight from the mountain. You conquered
Sounds
the
good.
mountain, Ron. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a great race. It was sad. I saw Zach spin, and it was kind of a bummer. I was hoping to race him more.
Yes, Zach was not the only one. There was a lot of action, but you were the one to keep your nose clean, and that's what brought you home, man. That's one of the names of these games in the mixed class GT4 league. So we're glad you're here. Congratulations again, Ron.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take it to him next week at Suzuka.
I will.
Take care.
And
Take care.
up to the GT3s now. I'd say without stuttering, too late. Just Justin Flagg, after leading almost the whole race, gives it up in the last few minutes to Jason Phillips, and also second place. We have Justin and Jason in the booth with us tonight. I'm not sure exactly where to start. Justin, congratulations on the pole. I'll start with you. Talk us through your whole race, surviving GT4 traffic, and then what happened on the last closing laps.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, there it goes.
We got you. Yeah.
Honestly, I was just trying to survive, and then I knew I wasn't going to take tires, so maintain those. I was doing good with traffic there till towards the end. I probably should have slowed down, but it looked like he was going left from my point of view, so I was like, all right, I'll shoot to the right, and then he came over, and I didn't want to get into him, and I already touched the grass, and that ended it. And I'm not even sure how I finished the race. I'm not sure if you guys looked in car. My steering wheel was 90 degrees to the right, and I finished it somehow.
Where was the contact?
I got into the wall going up the hill. I didn't. I stayed away from him. I seen him come over, and right when you peak the hill, if you hit the brakes there, you're done for. So I just decided to sabotage myself rather than another driver.
Totally mad respect for you for that. I tell you, we've talked over and over about the unforgiving walls and the famous elevation changes as well make the mountain so difficult. You put in a lot of work, put it on pole, and that kept you out of the first lap chaos. I want to hear from Jason, your winner, on how you survived the first lap. Jason, I mean, there was chaos all around you.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
We got
Okay.
you, Jason. Great race.
Man, what a nail biter. And Justin, man, you were lights out fast. I was doing my best to even be able to keep up and trying to manage Lucas behind me. Lucas was fast as hell. First lap was sketchy on these tires. Definitely. Even during practice yesterday, I was struggling real bad on my outlap, and I finally backed my bias back a little bit, and it started to help me on any of my outlaps. But outlap is scary for sure. First lap, whatever.
And then to exercise patience going through the field, it looked like you dropped back to 7 seconds, and then it kind of concertina or accordion effect back up to 2 seconds, and then you were putting pressure on after the final pit stop, or coming in together, going out together. How did you stay patient through all that? I mean, that is something admirable to be so patient and so precise at the same time.
Man, I was on the edge the entire race. Like my anxiety from the green flag, especially the car spun in front of me, and then I seen something in my rearview mirror as we were going up the mountain, so I couldn't really tell what happened back there. But overall, man, Bathurst is it's an insane track, and to be able to keep it off the walls that long. But I mean, I gotta give again hands down to Justin. That dude's fast, and I'm trying my best to keep up. I'm just an old man trying to keep up with these young kids, man. But
I'm
I'm
not
having
that
fun
young.
though.
Not that young.
I'm 47, so
Okay, yeah, you got 10 years on me, so
yeah,
I guess
again,
all right.
I'm trying to keep up with these young guys, especially you get like Odell and Johan and like Shay and all them. I got kids their age.
Well, as far as the standings go, we've had guys finish way below you that are higher in the points. Jason, Michael Odell, Chase Spencer's not here. The drop races are in effect. Johan DeRoy absent tonight. So both of you guys are going to move up in the standings a little bit. Race 9 of 12 is next. What do you expect while the season rounds out, man?
for me is just gaining and learning more experience on these tires. These tires they're definitely a game changer. It's once they're up to temp, they're great, and you can really start to push. But man, those first few laps are really sketchy. Then you got somebody like Flag who's turning hot laps from the green. So I mean, trying to keep up and keep your nose clean at the same time. I don't know. It's just it was a nail biter. I give it up to Flag and to Lucas, man. They both ran great races, 100%.
Yeah, thank
Was
you.
a lot
Yeah,
of fun to watch.
it was a lot of fun. For me, I haven't raced any of these next tracks in the GT3. Actually, I actually don't own a few of them, so I've got a lot of practice ahead of me.
What we got next? Let's see.
Suzuka, and then
Suzuka.
Hockenheimring for the first time in the Midwest Motorsports League. So
I think I've raced Hocken, whatever that is called. I raced it a couple years ago when it was first released, but I don't really have any experience at it, so it's gonna be a learning track for me too.
Yeah, I've still got to purchase it, so we'll see
Suzuka,
how it goes.
I raced it more on Gran Turismo years ago, but I'm not gonna say it's one of my favorites, but I have a little experience there. But thank you,
great.
Adam, James, the whole Midwest crew, especially for this community that they give us. I can't say that enough every time I get the chance to say it.
It's awesome. Well, you guys are definitely a part of it. We appreciate it. For all the Midwest Motorsports admins that make this league great, I'm James J. For Adam Sondag, reminding you to stay in your lane.
And I approve of this message.